This is a Flying Cow production.
Well, hello and welcome back to Movie Battles on the Flying Cow, where we take the very best we can find in Disney Pixar trivia and we put them head to head. I am your host, Clay Johnson, the Flying Cow himself, and I can't talk today, which is why it's such a good thing that I have here with me today sensational Sorsha Masters. How you doing? Sorsha, you're gonna have to help me.
I'm doing great. It sounds like you need to take a minute.
I've had too many and not enough all at the same time.
I understand.
But it's probably just because I am so excited about what we've got going down today. Today we have two returning players in Watkins, the Watkins, and Jack, the good boy Allison. These two, they both have a similar record. They both won one match. Jack's had a few more matches under his belt, which is why he's the favorite coming in here today. But neither one of these two have ever faced each other, and they actually both requested it the last time that they played a match. So, I figure, like I said, they got a similar win-loss record. So what better time to put the two of them up against each other?
Absolutely. Sounds like it's going to be a fun match.
Yeah. I mean, aside from the fact that both of these two know their stuff, they're both some of our more interesting competitors. Let's just put it like that. But before we get started and bring in our competitors, just got a couple things to say. First of all, just want to shout out the Movie Trivia Schmodown. It's where we got our format here. So if you like what you see here, go check them out at the schmodownlive.com and let them know that the cow sent you. And also, as always, do not forget to check out the Flying Cow is not only on YouTube, we are also in podcast form. You can find that on Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We are there. We are always talking about movies and television. We've got a few new things debuting pretty soon. So check all of those things out. It'll be great. And as always, if you want to get in contact with us, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at The Flying Cow Pod. You can also email us at theflyingcowpod@gmail.com. And if you can't remember any of that, it's on the banner above us. Not hard. All right. Well, Sorsha, I think that we have messed around here enough. What do you say we go ahead and bring in our competitors?
I say let's do it. Bring them on in.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Introducing first.
What's this?
Representing Watkins. She has a record of 1 win, 1 defeat, and 1 knockout. She is a riddle, wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a mystery. She is Watkins, the Watkins.
Hi, Clay. How's it going?
How we doing today, Watkins?
Doing good.
Good. It's great to see you. How have you been doing since your last match, your last victory?
I'm still a little in shock. Honestly, I was very pleasantly surprised by myself. And just brushing up on my business stuff so I can give my good friend, the good boy, a run for his money, hopefully.
Yeah. What do you? I mean, obviously, any competitor any day can win, but do you have a certain strategy going against Jack?
I really wish I could say I did, but I don't. That would have sounded really cool. I was like, yes.
Well, at least you are honest, but I can say for one thing, whatever happens here, considering the fact that it's you two, it's going to be entertaining.
I hope so. I'm very excited.
All right. Well, I think it is time to go ahead and bring your competitor in. So let us do that. And her opponent, representing Good Boys Everywhere, with a record of 1 win, 2 defeats, and 1 knockout. He is Jack, the Good Boy, Allison!
Hey guys, sorry. I just found blood in my sock, and should I call a doctor?
In your sock? Well, probably. I mean, yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. I mean, of course, I mean, how is it flowing profusely? Is it something you can do after a trivia match?
I don't know, man. I'm scared, Clay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure all of us would be in this in this case.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to make a real. I'll shake it off. Let's.
Yeah. How dare you bother us with your personal business, Jack?
Yeah.
Bleeding to death. How dare you?
Wait, what?
They're not to pass out on.
But blood flow aside, Jack, how you feeling about today's match?
I mean, up until that, yay, I guess. I've been wanting to go up against Watkins for a bit. She's one of the people in the running of this league that I have considered to be the most prepared of everybody, and I kind of wanted to test my mettle against that. And and I something about package films, hashtag dreading that. But other than that, I'm excited for another match.
All right, sounds good. Well, Jack, just let me know if you're about to pass out from loss of blood. All right.
No, I got some plastic wrap on it now. I think I'm going to be okay.
That sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and bring Watkins back in here?
I'm really glad I was muted for all of that because I was laughing very obnoxiously.
Well, Jack is apparently playing a little handicap today against you, Watkins. He's going to be bleeding to death.
You guys are worrying me.
No sympathy.
I think whatever happens, whether Jack lives or dies, it's going to be an exciting match. So why don't we go ahead and bring up the rules of round number 1?
Absolutely.
All right. And the rules of round number 1 are as follows. 8 questions will be asked from random categories to all competitors. Competitors will have 15 seconds to write down their answer. Their answers must be said aloud when revealing their response. All questions in this round are worth 1 point. If either competitor gets all questions correct, they will trigger a 1-point bonus question. Competitors also have 3 repeats that they can use throughout the match. If you didn't hear something very well, or you just need a little extra time, you can use those. But remember, you only have 3, so use them wisely. Each competitor may also challenge. They have a challenge that they can use if they disagree with any ruling. If your challenge is upheld, then you will keep your challenge. There is no stealing in this round. Are there any questions going into round number 1?
Is my whiteboard too big?
Honestly, no. No. Is how's your blood situation, Jack?
Subsided.
All right. So, competitors, are you ready? All right. Sorsha, are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
All right. Action begin. Let's get right into round number 1 with the category of early classics. These are the films of the 30s and the early 40s. And your question: what is the name of the young rabbit who befriends Bambi? Have you do you remember how old you were when you saw Bambi for the first time, Sorsha?
I want to say I was 3, and I got traumatized when Bambi's mother was shot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all were. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Pens down. Watkins, we're going to start with you. What is your response?
I had Thumper.
Thumper is correct. And Jack?
I put Thumper.
All right. Thumper is correct. All right. So you guys are tied 1-1 going into question number 2.
Yes. Question number 2. Category is Renaissance, mostly the 90s. Your question is, in Pocahontas, what is the name of the tree voiced by Linda Hunt? And 3, 2, 1.
All right. So we're going to be going to Jack first.
Grandmother Willow.
That is correct.
And Watkins.
Also had Grandmother Willow.
All right. Still tied up 2-2 going into question number 3. All right. So still tied up going into question number 3, which is in the category of the dark times. These are the films from the 2000s. And your question: in Bolt, what is the name of the hamster who is obsessed with Bolt? Did you see this film as a kid, Sorsha?
I did. My brothers watched it a lot when they were little.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly just caught up with it recently. It was one that I missed. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Watkins, we are starting with you.
I had Rhino.
Rhino is correct. And Jack?
I haven't seen Bolt, so I just wrote Little Snuggle.
All right. Quite an interesting guess, but unfortunately incorrect. So that means that Watkins goes up by 1 point. So we are currently at 3-2 in Watkins' favor, going into question number 4.
Yes. Question number 4 is in the category of Pixar. Your question is, in the Incredibles films, what is the last name of the Incredible family? Now, that one is a favorite of mine.
The Incredibles? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Big. I really liked the original. The second one, I like it, but let's just say they missed the mark in a couple of places. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Jack, let's see what you got.
Par?
Par is correct. And Watkins.
Is that incredible? Because I'm a fool.
No,
That's all right.
it's a little deceptive. It's a little deceptive because that's their superhero name, but not their actual name.
I knew that. And in my head, I heard far, and I was like, no, that's a made-up word. That's not a name.
All right. So Jack ties it back up at 3 apiece, going into question number 5. The Decline and Wilderness. These are the films of the 60s through the 80s. And your question. In the Jungle Book, what does King Louie want Mowgli to teach him? This was by far one of my favorite films as a kid. Had the old vinyl records. Because they were still popular when I was a child. Listened to them quite a bit in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Watkins, we're going to start with you.
How to make fire/light?
Yeah, fire is correct. All right, and Jack.
How to make fire.
All right, making fire. All right. So we are still tied up at 4 apiece. Going into the next question, question number 6.
Question number 6. Category is package films of the 1940s.
Everyone's favorite. Especially Jack.
Of course. Your question. In which package film will you find the short Once Upon a Winter Time?
Have you seen any of the package films, Sorsha?
I have one of my personal favorites.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you say that as someone who's seen some stuff and knows.
In 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, Jack, let's see your answer.
Make My Music?
Unfortunately, that is not it. Watkins.
What is Melody Time?
Melody Time is correct.
Right. So with that, Watkins pulls ahead by 1. It is currently 5-4 going into question number 7. And the category there is classics. These are the films of the 1950s. And your question? In Lady and the Tramp, what type of animal aids them in removing Lady's muzzle?
You say aids them?
Helps.
Oh, okay.
I remember the first time I watched this movie, I had a wart removed from my foot, so I couldn't walk. So my mother set me up with ice cream and this movie.
That's the best way to be set up.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, Watkins, we are starting with you. What do we have?
What is a gopher?
That is incorrect. Jack, do you
I
have...
almost put gopher too, but I put beaver.
Beaver is correct. They look as the Disney animated versions look very similar to each other, but it is indeed a beaver. So Jack once again ties it up, going into the final question of round number 1.
Yes. Question number 8. Category is CG Revolution the 2010s. Your question: in 2011's Winnie the Pooh, what has Eeyore lost? If
I
I'm
love
being
Winnie the
completely
Pooh.
honest, I didn't even know there was a Winnie the Pooh in 2011.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know that they necessarily publicized it very well, but it does exist in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Jack, let's see what you've put down.
Tail.
Tail is correct. And Watkins.
I also put his tail.
His tail is correct.
I mean, what else is Eeyore losing? His self-esteem? No, not that he
His
ever
will
had
to
it.
live.
His will to live. Once again, not sure if he ever had it, but all right. But at the end of round number 1, the competitors are tied at 6 points apiece. All right, so we are now going into round number 2. So let's go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 2. All right. So in round number 2, each competitor will spin the wheel. You have up to 2 spins. If you do not like your first spin, you can try to spin again, but whatever you land on the second time, you are stuck with. Unless, of course, you land on opponent's choice at any point, in which case you're stuck with that. Competitors will receive 4 questions in their chosen category. Questions are worth 2 points. If multiple choice is available in this round, however, if you go to it, your value of the question drops to 1 point. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. Opponents may steal if a competitor gives an incorrect response. Repeats and challenges are still in effect in this round. Do we have any questions as to the rules of round number 2?
I think I ask this every time, but we don't have to write them down, correct?
We do not. Nope. Okay. You don't have. I mean, you're welcome to use your whiteboard to figure things out if you need it, but you certainly do not have to show us your answer now.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are tied going into round number 2, which means that Jack, as the favorite, you have the option. Would you like to spin first, or would you like to defer to Watkins?
I'll defer this time.
You're going to defer. Okay, so Watkins is going to spin first. All right, so Watkins, let's go ahead and bring up the wheel for you. All right, well, Watkins, this spin is yours.
Okay.
And you've landed on scores and soundtracks. It played with a spinner's choice there for a second, but the last minute gave you scores and soundtracks. Watkins, would you like to keep it or spin again?
I'm going to risk it and spin again.
All right. So here is your second spin. You know, I hate it when the wheel fakes us out like that. Oh, but it didn't do it this time. This time it straight up gave Watkins directors. So this is going to be interesting. Watkins is going to get 4 questions in the realm of directors. This is a category that has not been landed on yet. So these are completely new questions. This is the first time we're seeing this category. So we will have to see how it treats Watkins.
Oh, no.
All right. Here we go. Watkins, your first question in the realm of directors.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 1. Andrew Stanton directed which 2008 Pixar film?
Can I get a multiple choice?
Absolutely. All right. So multiple choice on that. Is it A, A, Up, B, Wall-E, C, Ratatouille, or D, Cars 2?
Can you give me those again? Sorry.
Yep, you get one free repeat of the multiple choice. Your options again are, is it A, Up, B, Wall-E, C, Ratatouille, or D, Cars 2?
I'm gonna go with, what is Wall-E?
Wall-E is correct for 1 point. All right. So let us go now to question number 2. All right. Question number 2 in the category of directors. Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee directed this 2010's Disney film.
Jennifer Lee. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
In 5, 4.
Oh, sorry. Can I get multiple choice?
3. Yes, absolutely. You can get multiple choice. All right. And your options. Is it A, Tangled, B, Brave, C, Frozen, or D, Wreck-It Ralph?
I'm gonna go with B, Brave.
Brave is incorrect. So, Jack, you are going to get the opportunity to steal. I will repeat the question and the options for you. Your question is, Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee directed this 2010's Disney film. Is it A, Tangled, B, Brave, C, Frozen, or D, Wreck-It Ralph?
Frozen?
Frozen is correct for a 1 point steal. So even in round 2, they're staying tied neck and neck. Going into Watkins' penultimate question in her round 2 category. And the question, Director Brad Bird provided the voice of what character in The Incredibles?
I'm gonna need multiple choice.
All right. Your options there are, is it A, Syndrome, B, Kari, C, Jack, or D, Edna Mode?
What is D, Edna Mode?
Edna Mode is correct for 1 point. All right. So, Watkins, we are now down to your final question in the realm of directors.
Okay.
And that question, who is credited as a director on the first 3 Pixar films?
Who is John Ratzenberger? John Lasseter. Also probably.
You corrected yourself in time. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, yes, that is correct for 2 points. All right. All right. So, at the end of Watkins' round 2, she currently leads Jack 10-7. So, Watkins has a 3-point lead. So she's going to be hoping that Jack gets something that she can steal. on, because that's not a huge lead. Definitely could use some help. Obviously, Jack is going to be looking for a strong category here to establish a good lead.
Absolutely.
All right, so Jack, you see this wheel?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, here is your spin, sir. Nope. And we have landed on John and Alan. These are the roles of John Ratzenberger and Alan Tudyk.
Spin it again.
All right. So Jack has opted to spin again, even without me asking the question, because I forgot. Sorry. Alexa, stop. Sorry. All right, Jack, you have landed on classics. So these are the films of the 1950s. So once again, we have landed on a slice that has not been landed on before. So Jack is going to get 4 questions in the realm of classics, and they are going to be asked by the sensational one herself, Saoirse Masters. All right.
Okay, question 1. In Sleeping Beauty, what is the name of the fairy in the red dress?
Flora.
Flora is correct.
2 points.
Question number 2. In 1955's Lady and the Tramp, what is the name of the restaurant where they eat spaghetti?
Multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, Bella Notte? C, I forgot my alphabet. Is it A, Bella Notte? B, Vicuzzi's? C, Alfredo's? Or D, Tony's?
D, Tony's.
Tony's is correct.
With that, Jack ties it up 10 all.
All right. Question number 3. In Peter Pan, what creature does Tinkerbell tell the Lost Boys Wendy is to get them to shoot her down?
Wendy Bird.
The Wendy Bird is correct.
All right, and with that, Jack takes the lead by 2.
And your last question. What animal does the fairy godmother transform into horses for Cinderella?
I'm going to play it safe and say multiple choice.
All right. Is it A, dog, B, goose, C, lizard, or D, mouse?
Dog.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, so now Watkins gets the opportunity to steal.
What animal does the fairy godmother transform into the horses for Cinderella? Is it A, dog, B, goose, C, lizard, or D, mouse?
What is D, mouse?
D, mouse is correct.
I don't know why I thought there was only one word.
All right, so with that steal, Watkins cuts Jack's lead down to 1. So we are going into round number 3 with Jack having a 1-point lead, 12-11. All right, so let us go ahead and bring up the rules for round number 3. All right. So in round number 3, competitors will pick 3 numbers from 1 to 20 that correspond to 3 random categories. Each competitor will get 3 questions. The questions are worth 2, 3, and 5 points respectively. Competitors will have 15 seconds to answer each question. There is no stealing or multiple choice in this round. Repeats and challenges are still in effect. Are there any questions before we go into round number 3? No? All right. Well, since we are in round number 3, and Jack, you currently lead by 1 point, 12 to 11. So, Jack, you get the opportunity to pick your numbers first. What would you like to choose?
2, 12, and 7.
2, 12, and 7. All right. And Watkins, what numbers sound good to you?
8, 18, and 1.
8, 18, and 1. All right. So, all right. Watkins, since Jack currently has a 1 point lead, you will need to answer your 2 point question in order to avoid the TKO and force Jack to answer his first question. All right. So, Watkins, for 2 points, you chose the number 8.
Yes.
And that corresponds to the category scores and soundtracks.
Okay.
All right. And your question for 2 points. Who wrote the score for The Lion King?
Who is Elton John?
That is incorrect. Elton John wrote songs, not the score.
Oh, great.
So that is incorrect, but that just means that we will be going to your 3 point question. 3 point question. You chose number 18, which corresponds to the category of classics. All right. And your 3 point question to avoid the TKO and send it back to Jack. Cinderella's stepmother is also known as Lady what?
What is Tremaine?
Lady Tremaine is correct for 3 points. All right. So Watkins avoids the TKO. She sends it back to Jack. She's currently got a 2 point lead, 14 to 12.
All right. Jack, you chose the number 2, and the corresponding category is John and Alan. Your first question for 2 points. Which character does John Ratzenberger voice in The Incredibles?
The Underminer.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second number was number 12. The corresponding category is early Pixar. And your question, in A Bug's Life, what object does Flick tell Dot to pretend is a seed?
But it's a rock.
A rock is correct for 3
All right.
points.
So with that, Jack has retaken the lead. It is now 17 to 14. So he sends it back to Watkins, who now has the opportunity to answer her 5 point question. All right. So Watkins, if you get this correct, then you will send it back to Jack and force him to answer his 5. However, if you miss, Jack wins. All right.
All right.
So your 5 point question, you chose the number 1, and that relates to the category of mixed bag.
Excellent.
All right. And your question in the category of mixed bag. What flamboyant actor and comedian provided the voice of the genie in the DuckTales movie?
Who is Robin Williams?
And your winner, Jack, the good boy, Allison. Unfortunately, the correct answer was Rip Taylor. Rip Taylor. All right.
I don't know who that is either. It's okay.
Yeah. So, great match from both of you guys. You guys go ahead and turn off your cameras. We'll bring you back in just a second for your interviews. Wow. That was, I mean, you know, quite a match. Unfortunately, Watkins just got a rough hand today.
Yeah, Watkins was dealt some very difficult cards.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they obviously showed that they were pretty equal in their knowledge in round one. Unfortunately, from then on, Watkins just kind of had some rotten luck. So let's go ahead and bring Watkins back in here to talk about this match. Watkins, how we doing?
She's okay. I feel like I got schooled a little bit, and that's okay. It was a teachable moment. I like to think of it.
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing. I mean, you might say schooled, but Jack only beat you by 3 points. And I mean, let's be honest. A lot of that comes from the fact that you spun directors, which I'm guessing is not a strength.
Who knows directors in Disney movies?
But you know, let's be honest. You originally landed on scores and soundtracks. Do you feel like you would have done any better with that, or was it really, you know, a Sophie's choice there?
Directors, for sure, at least better than directors.
I mean, you know, you actually, for a difficult category, you navigated it pretty well. You really only allowed one steal for 1 point, which was smart. You went down to multiple choice on all of them, but that final one, and you know, you were able to get out the correct answer on that one in enough time to get those 2 points. And you know, Jack just had a stronger, you know, run, although you got a steal from him as well.
This is true.
In his round. You just, you know, once again, your 2 point question was scores and soundtracks.
Yeah.
Which I have been told by people who know scores and soundtracks that that's an easy question. So I'm just saying.
No, you are absolutely correct. And I was just vomiting from anxiety. And I just think it needed to like put me out of my misery.
Well, I mean, you know, here's the thing, Watkins. You are obviously, regardless of what the score shows today, you are a strong competitor. You had a strong showing in round one. You showed that you know how to play the game, navigating round two as well as you could. And, you know, had you gotten a 5 point question that you knew, you would have given Jack a run for his money. So, you know, it just, you got some rotten luck today, but I certainly hope that it doesn't scare you away because I got plans for you.
Absolutely. It would take a lot more to scare me away. This just gives me, I like research. So this just gives me homework because I'm a cool nerd.
Well, and you know, you had to get a 5 point question in the DuckTales movie, which we just added as eligible. So, you know,
just rude at that point.
All right. Well, you know, Watkins, it's always a joy to see you here. Win or lose, it's great to have you. But you know, like I said, unfortunately, you weren't successful today, but you still, are quite a strong competitor, and I expect to see great things from you in the future.
I appreciate that. And honestly, if I had to lose to anybody, I'm glad it was Jack.
All right. Well, thank you again, Watkins. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right. Well, let us go ahead and bring in today's victor, Jack the Good Boy Allison. How you doing today, Jack?
Okay. Look, I'm just gonna admit it. I didn't deserve that at all. I was nervous throughout that entire match. My heart hasn't beat that hard since I walked in my parents having sex. Like this was a match where like fate did not. It was helping me out. Like when I went into the wheel category saying, God knows, with my luck, I'm going to spin scores and soundtracks, respin for directors. That's exactly what happened to her. I don't know what luck was on my side, like what poor orphan I saved in a past life, what happened. But and the funny thing too is that mixed bag has been a category I've been waiting to get for a long time. And when she got hers, I was thinking, oh man. And then it was for a movie I don't know really all that well. So again, luck was nice to me today, but really this victory is that luck.
Yeah, and that's the way this game is. Sometimes you just get a bad hand, sometimes you just get a good one. There's definitely skill involved, but as long as if your skill is equal, sometimes luck is what gets you through. But you are currently 2-2. You're now on a winning streak. So what are you looking at in the future? What do you think your next match might be?
Well, unfortunately, that's to be determined because just because of a lot of stuff I told myself before this match, win or lose, I was going to be stepping away from the tournament for an indefinite stay. Nothing horrible. I'm not dying or anything, but one, it's just a lot of time for me to watch all these films that I don't really have right now. If I watch the package films one more time, my therapist is going to start charging me overtime. And, on top of all that, I recently saw the first episode of Loki and canceled my Disney Plus subscription. So I don't really have the resources anymore to check it out. So for all those reasons and in general, I got to take some time away. But again, I've had a blast in the meantime.
Well, Jack, I have to say, we're definitely sorry to lose you for whatever time that is. But, hopefully we can get you back in some capacity at some point. Whatever time you need, make sure that you take that and, take care of yourself.
I'll do my best. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, we'll see you later, Jack. Thanks again so much for all you've done so far. And we do hope to see you again in the future.
Likewise. Thank you.
Wow. Well, okay. So, the winner of the match just, for lack of a better word, retired, at least for the time being.
Temporary retirement.
Temporary, but, that's unfortunately the loss of a great competitor. But, we also saw another strong competitor here today in Watkins. And, she didn't announce anything, so she's not going anywhere, hopefully. Like I said, it's unfortunate to lose Jack, but that does leave an opening for these new people that are coming in. We've been introducing new competitors, so that's just one more spot for someone to fill. And who knows, we might get someone who meets and even breaks Jack's current record. We'll just have to find out.
We'll have to see.
All right. Well, there's not a whole lot else to say. I do want to say, though, thanks to everyone who is watching out there. I really hope that you have enjoyed these matches. We'll be having more introducing more new competitors. Just stay here, stay watching, and as always, move.
Mm.